Have you ever felt like you've done it all right? You've worked hard, you did what people said you should do, you achieved your goals, you built the life you thought you wanted, and then you realized it wasn't enough. You're not alone. Actually, I think we're living in a cultural moment that confuses being clever and achievement with being wise and living a good life. And it's leaving a lot of smart, capable people in quiet crisis. I see it all the time in my clinic. So, in this video, I want to talk about why intelligence isn't enough, why achievement isn't enough, and why the thing we really need, especially in 2025, is wisdom. And no, this isn't just some philosophical idea. Wisdom is ancient, it's practical, it's learnable, it's practice and discipline based. And it might just be the thing that sustains your life when everything else gets shaky. So before we dive in, I'll just take a second to orient you. I'd love you to subscribe to the channel as we build this community. If you're someone who values depth, personal growth, real world insight, building deep relationships, and the good life, a life worth living, this is a channel for you. I'd love to have you join us in this journey. I'm Dr. Andrew Smith. I'm a psychologist. For over a decade, I've been working with high performing, thoughtful people, leaders, professionals, creatives, people who've built incredible achievements in lives, but still feel stuck, anxious, just off. I'm the founder of Rewire. This is a values based, in some ways, a wisdom based framework for how to have great mental health and resilience in the storm, how to achieve personal transformation, change, get unstuck. At Rewire, we're not just about handing out tools, we're about people moving towards the things that produce sustainable joy, relationships, service, a life of wisdom. It's not about being more productive or better performing, not just more regulated or thinking better. It's about living actually in wiser ways that are more grounded and more centered and will produce the kind of life that you'll be proud of. So in today's video, I want to walk through sort of the 5 areas that I'm going to focus on. Here's the roadmap for today. Number 1, why our generation often confuses intelligence and wisdom. Number 2, what wisdom actually is and why it matters more than ever. Number 3, 4 core disciplines that you can start practicing today to get on the path of building wisdom in your life. Number 4, a few signs that your life might be successful on paper, but still running on empty from a sustainability and wisdom standpoint. And number 5, why does it matter? So today, this is for anyone who's smart, capable, driven, and still wondering, is this all that there is? Okay, part 1, let's start with the problem. We live in a time of incredible, massive progress. We've got gene therapies, AI doing a bunch of work for us. Our Rewire platform's using AI. More access to knowledge than any generation before us. And yet we're as anxious and lonely and overstimulated and deeply disconnected from ourselves and each other. Here's the problem. I think that we've mistaken cleverness and independence for wisdom and interdependence. Cleverness can build impressive lives. Intelligence can build it can build the house, but intelligence doesn't care or isn't concerned about what it's like to live inside that house. Only wisdom can make the inside of a house feel joyful and livable. In my practice as a psychologist, I see this all the time. People who've done the things, achieved, educated, great jobs, optimized routines, fit, healthy, but underneath, they're exhausted. Why? Because they reached the top of the mountain, the things that they were going after, and realized it was a false sign. They don't feel peace. They feel pressure to keep it all up, to keep it all together, to get even more freedom, more status, more certainty. And what they're missing, it's really not more optimization. It's wisdom. It's deeply relational. It's not having to be the center of the universe and holding it all together. Those things, those achievements, that education, that skill set, it's built the house. It's gotten you some good things, but it's not going to be the same skill set or the same things that you need to want to live in that house. for the rest of your life. So let's move to part 2. Let's talk about why intelligence and achievement aren't enough. This is your ability to learn. Intelligence, really. It's your ability to learn, solve problems, get ahead. And wisdom is your ability to live well with humility and clarity and integrity. Smart people can still ruin relationships. In fact, I think smart people and being intelligent is a harbinger of relationship ruination if we're not careful, if we're not grounded in wisdom or a desire to have it. Smart people can still react out of fear, get stuck in shame, collapse under pressure. Wisdom's actually the thing, the core thing that allows you to carry success without being consumed by it and defined by it. It's what allows you to hold this loosely and not be terrified of losing it. It's what keeps you grounded when everything else shakes. So part 3, what is wisdom? What is it really? It's not about having all the answers. You can't achieve it. It's not about being older or more educated or more spiritual than anyone else. Wisdom is it's founded on a set of disciplines. It's a way of living. And it starts with one realization. And this is hard. This is why intelligence is such a barrier to the pursuit of wisdom. And here's that one realization: I don't have it all figured out. And I don't need to pretend that I do. And that's where the wisdom journey, that's the position, the platform on which you can start to build on the wise path. Okay, let's move to part 4. 4 skills of a wisdom-based life, or 4 disciplines of a wisdom-based life. At Rewire, which is the channel that you are currently watching this video on, that I'd love you to subscribe to, we teach that wisdom isn't something you're necessarily born with. It's something that comes from a set of practices, and it's built on 4 core practices. First, humility. Number 1, humility. The ability to say, I can be wrong. I might not be seeing this clearly. I've been wrong in the past and I'll be wrong again. Humility is not insecurity. It's not pretending that you don't know. It's strength without ego. The second discipline, mindfulness and self-awareness. Can you notice your emotions before they take over? Can you pause long enough to respond instead of react? Can you catch your emotions after having been driven by or guided by fear or anxiety or a want to dominate or compete, and walk it back and take responsibility for that? Third, insight. The deepest insight comes when you stop being surprised by your own dysfunction. You stop being surprised by the ways that you get it wrong. You start seeing that with acceptance and compassion. You begin to say, yeah, I've been here before. I know this pattern in myself, and I know that I don't want to stay in it. What are the things I need to do to move out of it? Instead of this personality-based approach, which is like, this is just who I am. It's, this is who I am, and how do I commit to change and noticing this better? And fourth, perspective seeking. Wisdom is deeply relational. And you won't do any of these things if humility isn't the first step in the core, which is, I just don't know, and I know I'm capable of making mistakes. But perspective seeking is something that people who are on the path of wisdom take really seriously. You weren't meant to figure out your life on your own. Wisdom means inviting others in, especially when it's hard, letting people tell you the truth and receiving it, not as shame, but as a gift. So wisdom it cannot be done in a silo. That is the epitome of unwise. So part 5, why does this matter? So what actually matters about, why does this actually matter? Because life is going to get hard and you're going to suffer. People you love will suffer. And instead of covering that up and distracting yourself from that suffering, that is a core of what it means to be human. So instead of using your intelligence to build the house bigger and more distracting, wisdom says, slow down and experience these parts of life because they are part of the fullness of being alive and being human. People in your life will suffer, you'll suffer. And in these moments, cleverness, intelligence, it's not really going to help you. Knowledge isn't going to comfort you much. Productivity hacks won't hold you together. Wisdom will. Wisdom's it really allows you to stay soft when you want to shut down, stay open, to stay steady when the world tilts, to have a perspective on suffering that there is a learning opportunity here, to lead with integrity even when it costs you, to love and show up for other people well, to grieve well, to live without as much regret. And this is why I care so much about this. Why I think we need a cultural reawakening to what wisdom actually is. It's not amassing independence and schedule optimization and perfect fitness and the perfect children and the perfect life. It's showing up in the messy lives of other people, and wisdom is what allows you to see why that's so important. So if you're someone who's smart, capable, and still feeling like someone's missing, maybe the next step isn't to do more. Maybe the next step isn't continuing on the skill set and the intelligence framework that you've been using, but to shift this idea that maybe the skills and the things that you need to move your life forward from here are not the ones that you've been building to get here. And I really think that is critical. If you want to go deeper, subscribe to this channel. Check out Rewire for the app that we're building, practices, tools to help you live a life that doesn't just look good, but actually feels grounded and whole. Wisdom's not a peak to climb, it's a way of walking, it's a journey, as cliche as that sounds. And I'm inviting you to start walking it today. Humility, mindfulness, insight about who you are and where you're prone to fail, bringing in other people's perspectives. Hope to see you again soon.